Hi soulmates, and welcome to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I made this simple red skirt in no time. If this is the kind of video you want to see, please do well to subscribe, like, comment and share. And now let's get into this video right away. So for this skirt I used 2 yards of plain crepe material. All right, and the first thing I did was to mark out a straight line at the hem of the material because I wouldn't want that to be showing on my skirt. It wouldn't look nice. So I marked my hip at 9 inches, and then I went down to mark again at 16 inches. Okay, and now the next thing I did was to divide my measurements. So for my waist measurement I divided it by 4, and then what I got I added 2 inches to it, and then for my hip divided by 4, and then whatever thing I got I marked I added 2 inches to it as well. And then for that knee area, what I got at my hip plus 2 inches, I minus 1 inch from it and then marked it at that, and then connected the dots together and went ahead to cut that out. Okay, now the next thing I did was to cut out the back part of this skirt. Now for the back part of the skirt, this skirt has a zip at the back, so I went ahead to give some space for my zip allowance. Okay, that place I'm pointing right now is zip allowance, and then I went ahead to cut the rest of the back part of the skirt as normal. All right, after I did that I went ahead to notch the zip allowance and then slit open that zip area. Okay, so I'll be able to go ahead and do the next thing on the skirt. All right, so if you watch this point, do not forget to subscribe, like, comment and share, as that will also help for others to also see this video as well. Thank you. So the next thing I did was to pin down my zip allowance area, or my zip area rather, so it looks like the zip has already been attached to it. And then I went ahead to open up the back skirt, the back part of the skirt, and then the front, place it on it right side facing each other. Okay, now the next thing I did was to take my tape. After I made sure that everything was equal, from my hip measurement I went down by 2 inches, and then from the center part of my skirt I also went to the other side by 3 inches. Okay, and then I had to connect that together. That will give it the slant look that you saw on the skirt, and then I went ahead to cut that out. Okay, now this is what we have after cutting that out. Now for the flip part, all I did was to fold my material to the point that it would be easy for me to cut out. Now from 16 inches I marked down at 30 inches, which is the full length of this skirt. Okay, you can make yours shorter than mine, you can make it longer than mine. It all depends on what you want to do with your skirt. Okay, and then I went ahead to cut it out. I cut out 2 of that, and then this is the strap that I'll be using to finish up the waist part of my skirt. And now over to the sewing. Okay, now the first thing I did was to mark out my that area, both for the front part of the skirt and the back part of it. So from the center I marked out 3.5 inches. Okay, I gave that a notch just to be able to get the other side of it because it's on fold, and then I went down by 5 inches. Okay, I went in by 3.5 and went down by 5 inches. So the same thing I did here I also did for the back part of the skirt as well. All right, so all I'm going to do is just to fold it from that notch area, making sure it is straight enough and equal, and then I sew it with just a little bit of allowance to it. And then after sewing it, this is what we have. Okay, the darts in place. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to sew the zip area. So from the waist part of the skirt I marked at 7, and then from that 7 I sewed it down. Okay, and after that I ironed it, and this is what we have. So the next thing I'm going to do is to go over my machine and then add my zip to the skirt. Okay, so that's the next thing I did. So after I added my zip to it, this is how it's looking right now. So next thing is to join the front and the back part of the skirt together. So right side facing each other. All I did was to just make sure that everything is equal and properly placed, and then I went ahead to secure it with my pin. I secured the sides, the upper, the down part with my pin so it doesn't move when I'm joining it. Okay, now if you've watched to this point, my lovely soulmates, do not forget to subscribe if you've not, like, comment, and share. Okay, thank you. Now for the joining of this skirt, all I did was to divide my measurement by 2 and then mark that down. And the same thing I did for the waist, I did for the hip, and then for the down part of the skirt, all I did was to minus 1.5 inch from the hip, and then mark what I got from there at the knee point or the down part of the skirt. That's all. Very easy, right? Yeah, do not forget to drop your comments in the comment section or your questions in the comments if you have any, and I promise to answer your questions. Now that I'm done joining that together, this is what we have. Okay, now I'm going to advise you, whatever thing you do on your skirt with your crop material, be sure to iron it down. Ironing helps your work look neat and also help you see what you're doing, where you make mistakes, and where you ought to correct. Okay, now the next thing I did was to attach this finishing strap on my skirt, the waist part. So I'm just going to place it like so, sew it, and then turn it in. Okay, as you can see, it is inside like that, looking so cute and so beautiful. All right, so next thing is to attach the down part of it. So all I did was just to join the two pieces together. Okay, I joined everything together, gathered it, and then attached it at the down part of the skirt. Okay, now after I'm done doing that, this is what we have. Now for the final part of it, I'm just going to go ahead and fold the hem of my skirt like so. Just give it a good fold and sew it round. That's all, and this skirt is ready. So this is what we have. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share, and see you in my next one. Bye.